Good afternoon, everyone. Michael DeSalvo here from A Plus Tutoring. And I wanted to say hi to you all today out there on YouTube Lane and let you know about some big changes we have here at A Plus Tutoring. So again, my name is Michael DeSalvo. I'm here at A Plus Tutoring at our new office. We used to be focused all on really in-home tutoring here in Greater Cincinnati, but that's changed here in the last 3 weeks as we've moved to an office here in Springdale, which is considered part of Greater Cincinnati near the Tri-County Mall. We have an office here at 260 Northland Boulevard in Suite 109A. And to celebrate this big event of our 10th anniversary, we're actually giving away the secrets of our test prep. We've helped students get perfect scores on the SAT, ACT, and PSAT, and 99th percentile on other tests too. And we'd like to share those secrets of the steps we use for all of our students. So those who are not in Cincinnati have a chance to also get these great scores. I realize a lot of great students out there can get a perfect score naturally on the SAT or PSAT or ACT. And that's great. Some students are just super sharp and they don't really need any tutoring or test prep, but I'd say about 99.5% of us need not to just pay attention in school, but also need to have a systematic way of dealing with these tests to improve our scores. Even some students who end up with perfect scores had nothing like those their sophomore or even junior years. They had to put a lot of time and effort into those scores to increase by 300, 400, maybe even 500 points. So if you all would like to get a chance here to see our test prep techniques, please join us. It was a tough, difficult decision for me to move from my home base there in my home in Springdale to this office location about an hour and a half. That is a mile and a half away. But I have 2 young children at home, and with their rapping on the keyboard and causing problems, it did make things difficult for me. So what we'll be doing is first focusing on the ACT. We'll go into the 4 basic sections, starting with the English section, which in a way might be the most challenging, but a lot of students are catching up with what they need to do on the test. And it's becoming a lot more competitive scoring the 99th percentile. In fact, there might be an easier time of it if students focus on the 98th, 99th percentile, even perfect scores, rather than just doing well, because there are a lot of students just doing well, and we need to do better than that to get the highest scores for the most competitive colleges. So I'll be going into the categories I teach after finding the verb and subject, going into grammatical marks, modifiers, verbs, and parallelism, our predicting step, correlating that with the choices after we've actually corrected what's wrong with our essays. We also use accuracy and efficiency to make sure we have the best choice, and use detecting mostly main idea and inferential reasoning questions to treat some of our English passages like they're really reading passages. We then move on to the math test in our second video. And in that, we'll be showing you the steps I use, the underline, relate, simplify, factor, operations between equations, and substitution step. It really helps to know your math equations and the math concepts heading into the test. It's not one you can simply be clever about to do well. The SAT is more about critical thinking. You don't need to know as many formulas. For on the ACT, it is very content driven, so you need to know your stuff. And we'll talk about avoiding the careless mistakes that can make the biggest difference in your score. The third test on the ACT we'll find is the reading section, and that's when we need to underline every context idea in our questions, classifying to the right category, main idea, detecting detail, or inferential reasoning. Then go to the right part of the passage, underline the clues there, predict an answer, then correlate with the choices. We'll be going into different problems showing those different steps. And the science section is our last test on the ACT. And it's a variation of our reading steps, except we only have inferential reasoning and detecting detail questions. So either the questions are direct, which is not too often, or we're looking for an idea, like the idea of a variable, or the idea of a theory, and does one idea fit a theory, or does it not fit the theory, or what might we expect in a certain situation versus another situation. So that will round out our 4 tests on the ACT, so you can maximize your ACT score. We like the Real ACT Test Prep book. It gives us a good heads up on the real questions we should expect on test day, but there are also other challenging books out there that can help you that are actually more difficult than the Real ACT book. Sometimes those questions seem a little easier than what you'd actually see on test day because the book questions are really made about 8 or 9 years ago. 2 of the tests are more recent, but in general, we're finding that those questions are a little too easy for some of what we would expect on test day. But stay tuned for those techniques. Feel free to leave your comments below, subscribe, and tell us that you like us if what you find is helpful. Keep in touch here. I'm Michael DeSalvo at md@a+tutoring-testprep.com, and we will sign out. Take care. Bye-bye.